Hello, everyone, and thank you for checking us out. So, this is JC Aldana. I'm a local realtor here at 24/7 Realty, and I'm proudly here to introduce our team members: Barbie Zaragoza,
Hi.
Julian Esparza,
Hello, everybody.
and our future agent Jess
Hi, guys.
Fernandez. Thank you for being here with us. And a lot of us have started in this career for different reasons. And this is why we decided to create this space to share and become an example for others out there. So I believe it's time for us to be real, to be authentic, and to be part of a much larger project than ourselves. So I'll start with Julian. If you can just share a little bit about yourself and let us know the main reasons why you started here as a realtor at 24.
Awesome. Well, nice to meet you, everybody. Hi, team again.
Team.
So, Julian Esparza. I've been licensed for 3 years. About to be 4 in March. The reason why I joined real estate pretty much was I had a shop. So before actually doing real estate, I had a shop. It was a window tinting and detail shop. Nice. A lot of people might not know that. But what happened is that we were in a sublease. So it was a tenant, and then they were subleasing it to us. Something happened where I guess the actual tenant wasn't paying the rent, and next thing you know we got to the shop, and there was the shop was closed pretty much. Wow. I couldn't get in there, couldn't do anything. All of our equipment was in there, all of our tools, pretty much everything was in there. We contacted the guy never answered, and then it just happened to be that they sold it to someone else. But behind that was that we were paying the rent, but he wasn't paying it to the landlord. He was just pocketing the money. So that right there, after that happened, I kind of, is when I contact Juan Carlos, a really long time friend of mine, my brother, and just started this whole stuff, try to get some advice to see what was gonna happen, and just decided to go full force. And that's why I decided to get my real estate license. And he was a big influence in that. I really didn't have a choice. No, but it was. I think it was the great thing that happened. I think things happen for a reason, and now I'm here because of that. So I'm grateful.
You started as a part-time, remember?
I did. So I started part-time. I actually started as his TC. Just kind of knowing once that happened, I contact Juan Carlos to kind of see what's gonna happen with the process, see if I could give some type of money back. But then I just started seeing him and with the phone calls and all this kind of stuff, and kind of I drew to that. So I was like, hey, I want to learn real estate, and he kind of brought me under. I started as his TC. A TC, for you people that don't know, it's a transaction coordinator. There you go.
I know now.
And yeah, I mean, the rest is history. That's pretty much how I learned from beginning to end in the whole transaction. Documents, it's very important for you to read them. Obviously all the disclosures so you guys could understand it. But yeah, it's pretty much how I started, and now I'm here making podcast.
There you go.
So if you wouldn't have gotten that store closed, would you still be there?
Yeah. I mean, I think I would have still. I would probably wouldn't push it as much as becoming an agent if I still had my shop. It was in the back of my head, because also I have a really close friend of mine. She's kind of like my sister, a sister from another mister. She's also an agent. So when growing up, I see them, and it was something in the back of my head that I wanted to do it, but I really never okay, I'm going to sit down and actually do it. And when that happened, I started coming with him, and then, we were talking, and I see the transactions and how much they were getting and people being happy.
You saw the money.
Yeah,
you saw the money.
That's a big part of it. Yeah, that's a big part, too. I'm not gonna lie. But the fact that you help people become homeowners was something very important to me, especially knowing, the real estate, what you could do with it, especially like me being, someone that fell into, I guess you could say, not a scam, but, that lost money pretty much. So
because you weren't informed.
Exactly. Yeah. So being informed was something that was really great. And yeah, so I got to the office. I was getting paid as a transaction coordinator. And then JC always kept telling me, bro, get your license. No, I don't want to go to
voice
school.
In my head too.
Yeah, like I don't want to I don't want to study. I don't want to do none of that. It's just like it'll be a process. And then next thing you know it, I have my books. He paid for my books, and I was like, well, I guess I have no choice.
Make it happen.
Yeah, so it was cool. Like I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for the opportunity, and it's been a good ride. It's fairly new, but it's been good for sure.
That's awesome. I love that.
How about you, Barbie?
Well, I used to own a gym. I don't know if people know that about me, but I used to own Lotus Fitness. It's in Chula Vista. It's actually still there.
Oh, nice.
The person that bought it has done an amazing job of continuing and creating her own legacy in the community. So after I sold it, I took some time to kind of enjoy my last child at home, finishing high school. And then I became an empty nester. And then COVID hit. And so during COVID, I said, I can't just sit around here and like drink claws on Zoom every day, right? Yeah. So I decided I'm going to get licensed. So I took the course, and it was a long situation because of COVID. They couldn't test you. Yeah. So it took like a whole year almost to be able to take my test. But I did my course, and I was ready for it. So in the meantime, I also did my notary course. Okay. And when the testing finally opened up, I took my real estate test, and I passed it. And I must say, for me, it was an empowerment move. I was at the end of a 16-year marriage and trying to figure out what was next for me. So when I went to take the test, you're nervous, right?
Of course.
You're nervous.
I remember.
You can't wear any, jewelry, no watches or anything. And I have this jade bracelet that I got in China it's going to be 4 or 5 years ago. I've never taken it off. So I go in, and the lady says, well, hon, you have to take that off. I said, well, unless you have like some baby oil in a plastic bag, this isn't going anywhere. So she said, well, you'll have to tape it up. I said, well, give me some tape. And I was wearing long sleeves. And she goes over and she says, okay, just tuck it up your arm and put your sleeve over it. We're not going to say anything. Just don't bang the glass that you're doing your test on. It's all right. So I was sitting, before I walked in, I had pulled up, and there was a girl that pulled up, and we were both sitting in our car. I was listening to meditation before I went in, and I think she was praying in her car. So we both got out of the car at the same time, and I said, you doing okay? And she's like, yeah, are you? I said, yeah. And we talked about, what we're going to take the test, and, whatever it is, we can do it again. And we go inside, everyone checks in, we take the test. So when you take the test, they give you a letter in an envelope telling you if you passed or not.
At the end.
At the end. Yeah. You take your test, and then they call your name. They give you an envelope. They say, don't open it in here.
Yep.
Go open it outside.
Just in case you need to scream or cry or do something. Yeah.
So go, don't open it here. Go open it outside. So she gives me an envelope. I go and I sit in my car. And I was like, all right, well, it is what it is. So I open it, and I have passed, and I just start bawling.
Man.
I was just crying, and the girl, and when I look, the girl's sitting in her car, and she's crying. And I'm like, is she crying because she didn't pass? Or is she crying because she passed it? So I get out of the car, and I went over to her, and she goes like this, and she got out, and we hugged each other. And we didn't know each other, but it was just like that moment of accomplishing something.
That's awesome.
And so I drove, to, at the time I was working I had been recruited by somebody else, and started working with them, but it was really outside of my comfort zone. It's very, very, high end and a very different language and culture for me.
Got it.
But passing that test was such an empowerment. And then my life started to move forward. So I moved out of my home, got my own little, I have my own little place, started remodeling that and all. And then all of a sudden it's like, okay, I need money.
Yeah.
Starting to run out of money. My savings is running out of money. How am I going to do this? And I was helping the broker at the time, so I kind of got like second, number 2 for buyers. I was working as buyers.
Got it.
So that was good practice and all of that. And then reality set in. Like, I really need an income. So I had my first listing, and which is how I met JC and Julian. And I was like super green puppy, didn't know really what I was doing, but I knew the basics, right? So we had our listing, and it was my client Cynthia, and her parents were retiring. So they wanted to sell their rental property and invest in their primary home. So Julian and JC show up with a very interested buyer, and Mr. Techie Julian over here has this little tablet, and he's like doing the walkthrough, and it was JC and I were laughing because he's like, yeah, you guys got to update your this is what's in now. This is how we do
That's how it is.
Because I'm like, I had a piece of paper. Yeah. And he's like, I don't use paper anymore.
Everything is technology based, and it's cool,
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So that day, I was so impressed by you guys. You were so nice. You were fun. And it was like, man, I want to work with them. Because I didn't feel that connection before where I was at. And I didn't have the support I needed because they're just so busy.
Yeah.
So I did learn a lot over there, but I needed a little bit more support. Because I knew I was going to have to go get a job until I got my real estate rolling. And so, anyways, to just cut to the chase, I remember thinking that day, and this is like how we manifest, right? Like, how cool would it be to work with them? So I even asked him some questions, like, who do you work for? And he was doing something that was kind of independent, and he didn't really have a team.
At that moment, no.
No.
It was just myself, and Julian was, I think you were barely starting or had some, just a couple of, maybe a year at the most.
No, how long ago did you get your license?
Oh, about a year and a half.
A year and a half? Yeah. No, it's probably a few transactions in,
Yeah. So then, we end up closing that deal, but I needed support.
Yeah.
And there was things I didn't know, and they would tell me, hey, Barbie, you need to do this form. And I was like, thank you so much. And I was really honest.
Yeah.
That was the thing. I was vulnerable because I felt safe with you guys, even though like you're representing the other side. And I think that's something beautiful in real estate when you're working with real people, is that you can be vulnerable and trust that, really, anyone else would say like, dude, you trust them? They're like on the opposite side. But we're working together to make a dream come true. And not just one, but two.
For both families.
We made a dream come true for Cynthia's family and for your client wanted it really bad, So I remember just you guys being so helpful.
Thank you.
And Julian was like, I already did it. Don't worry about it. I got you. Just sign it, and it was just a really neat experience. And then I didn't see you guys anymore. So in a little while ago, passes, I ended up getting a job. And I was working at a cancer hospital, which was beautiful and very meaningful. But it really took a toll on my spirit. It was just heavy. And I really wanted to do real estate. And that was kind of like 8 o'clock at night. It was like a full-time, around-the-clock kind of thing. And that's not what I want to do at this stage of my life. So JC calls me one day and says, hey, Barbie.
Keep communicating, right? Like texting or sending messages.
Yeah. Just, hey, how's it going?
Keep in touch.
What's going on? This and that. And then JC says to me, hey, I have something I want to show you. We're joining this company, and it's really cool, and it's in Chula Vista, and da-da-da. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I think like 3 messages later, I said, I'm going to go check it out. So I come into this really cool office, because it was really cool. And Grease was here. Yeah. And
super sweet. Shout out to Grease.
Yeah, she had met me at a networking party somewhere with the other company.
Okay.
And she comes in and she says, oh, I remember you. I remember you from so-and-so. And she hugs me because she says, how are you? I said, I'm kind of looking for a new home, for real estate. And she hugs me and she says, our Barbie belongs here. And I started crying.
Yeah.
It's because it was.
She's such a sweetheart.
It was what I was looking for, and I told her that today.
She's
You know?
that's how she is.
Yeah,
Like
it was
literally.
like,
Yeah.
Loving.
It was like I
100%.
came home.
Yeah.
It was, and everyone was so nice. The ladies are nice. You know, sometimes you feel tension with, you know, other women, and it's a sad thing. And I'm glad that we're like breaking through that. But here, everyone's nice and welcoming.
Super cool.
And you know, offers to help. It's just been amazing.
That's what it's all about.
That's what kept me. I was able to let go of that full-time job. I set it up. You know, it's like JC said, hey, you know, make a savings so that you can focus later on. And when you're ready, I'm here to support you. And not only have you supported me 150%, but like you have had my back when I couldn't, you know, show property. You help me when I don't understand. You say it 5 times and you don't get frustrated, at least not in my presence. And Julian as well.
The moment she leaves.
Yeah.
and Julian as well.
Thank you.
So helpful. And I remember someone saying, "Wow, you know, that's a younger kind of crowd." And I said, "I love it." You know, I'm a young
full
spirit.
of energy.
Well, talk about youngster. You got
yes, and
got the daughter coming in, you right?
Yes,
Jessica. And now we want to create a dream team with you guys as well. I think it's just so balanced. It's awesome.
And it's an honor for us, seriously. In the beginning, when we were talking, I wasn't ready to start creating that team besides Julian and myself. So we were like teammates. It's a team, but it's only 2 people. So now we feel more supported by the company. We feel supported by the lending division, which is also here next to us. And now we're ready to take over and guide and invite more agents to be part of us. And like I said, Julian and I started, and now it's Barbie. There's another agent that is on vacation right now, Eric.
Eric, yeah.
He'll be
Shout
here
out
in
to
the
Eric.
next 2 weeks. And Barbie, just pretty soon you'll be getting your license in
Yes,
the
I'm
next
here.
2 months.
Yes.
There you go, putting some pressure. So tell us a little bit how you feel with that.
I'm excited. This is something completely new for me, in a way. And to be honest, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my mom. And as long as my mom's like on board, I'm like, all right, Mom, what are we doing next? And my background, I came from Kaiser Hospital, 9-to-5 job. I also have a business. I have a camper van rental experience business. So
Put your
going from
your app.
real estate to real estate.
There you go.
So yeah, something that I guess resonated with me when I was kind of hearing your story of how you got into real estate was when I was 24, I was trying to buy my family home, and I wasn't informed. If I knew then what I know now, I would have done it without a hesitation. But I think that's something that hit home for me, and just being more informed. And I'm about the entrepreneur lifestyle, so I needed to get out of that 9-to-5 life. And I'm here with my mom, and I'm here to help inform people in my generation that were in similar shoes to me. And I don't want that to happen again. And I don't think it's necessary, especially if we're informed and for informing each other. And yeah, I'm ready to go pretty much all in on this.
There you go. Are you excited?
I am excited.
Yeah?
Yeah. And I love you guys. And to be honest, I was a little hesitant because you guys know me. I'm very like spiritual, mind, body, soul. And I came in here, and to my surprise, everyone else was on the same vibe.
That's what it's all about.
It's like Joe Dispenza everywhere. I'm like, hey, that's me. I was like, you know what? Okay, I could do this.
That's how it is. Same thing. When I got here too, everybody was just so welcoming, you know. Gris, again, she's such a sweetheart, you know, to everybody. You know, she's super chill, makes you feel at home. I was in another team before joining 24/7. And I'll be over there, and then I'll just come straight over here. We'll just go for like a weekly meeting, and then I'll come here because I felt being at home here, you know. Plus, it was close to home. It's just a great environment, you know. At the end of the day, it's the people that you want to surround yourself with. The fact that you have the real estate side, the lending department, also escrow downstairs. Shout out to Marina Vista. Marina Vista Escrow. So it's just a whole department. And everything is just in one. And the fact that they're gonna get that new building, so there's a bunch of new stuff that is just attracting, a lot of movement, which is great. So it's a good stuff.
I think we need to hear JC.
Yes.
Yeah.
Background to why you joined
My
real
background.
estate.
Oh, that's right.
It's all about
JC,
getting
let's
real.
go.
So a lot of people don't know about me. I started, I want to say 2009. When it was rough back then, and everyone said, "Why are you getting into real estate?" And
Right when the
this
market
crazy
was
market was
Yep.
crashing. So I was blessed to work with a broker directly, and they were doing lots of investment purchases, fixer uppers, and all that. I didn't have my license at that moment, so I learned as much as I can from those guys. What attracted me to that area of real estate before I started working with them is when I was 22, obviously I knew everything, like everyone's probably out there, super young, unexperienced, and I purchased a property without an agent. I purchased a property directly from the seller. I was super excited. I wanted to get into the real estate game, and long story short, I lost a property about 2.5 years after. And everyone says like, "Why? I told you." My mom, she was like, "I told you." I'm like, "Yes, it's an experience, Yep. But it was super painful during that phase. I was super embarrassed to share it. Now I'm super honest and very open about it because I learned from that experience, and from that I decided to get into real estate, to learn more, to be informed, to be licensed, to start surrounding myself with people that knew about what I wanted to become and what I wanted to learn. So I started that way, and I said, okay, I learned from this. I shook it off, and I'm like, what's next? Let's learn. I didn't get my license until, I want to say like 5 or 6 years after in working with this investment company. I learned, I want to say it from not the traditional way. I was mostly on the investment part of it. And now I got my license, I want to say 8 years ago. This will be my second term. I've been surrounded by a lot of people from contractors, from architects, from designers, from lenders, notaries, everyone. So we become very resourceful, and that's one of the beauties that I like about this career. We open ourselves to help people. And you mentioned earlier just that, because of the money. Of course, it's there, but it's personally speaking, it's not my main reason, because I always make a joke that we work for free, right? Because we don't get paid until we actually close a transaction and we are able to provide an actual result to the client. So I do it for fun, yes. Would I do it if I don't get paid? Yes, just to see the satisfaction of the family from one point of or one phase where they're thinking that they're not going to be able to purchase or become homeowners, and seeing that transition for 1, 2, 3, 6 months, sometimes even more, it's very fulfilling. And sharing that with you guys, sharing that with family members, with close friends, I think that's what has allowed me to expand and be more open and be more resourceful for them too, in order to say, I'm looking for someone to do a remodel on my property. Oh, call JC, probably he would know. And sometimes, like this morning, I said I needed a cleaning lady in an emergency call because the property that we were gonna deliver, it wasn't clean. So I'm like, you know what, let's call Julian. I'm pretty sure he's gonna have someone. Immediately, like 10, 15 minutes after, he sends me a text with the lady's name. So those relationships that you start building throughout the year, it's a blessing, honestly.
Yeah.
Cultivating community, it's so important. I love that.
Everybody, I mean, cleaning, to, like you said, contracting, painters,
you name it.
Everything.
You name it.
And especially in this kind of business, that's something that you really need. Whether it's for yourself or for a client, contact is always great.
So that's kind of like how I started. What keeps me going, I want to say it's just the result of that family being able to accomplish their dream.
Yep.
It fulfills me. It keeps me. That's the kind of like the fuel to go to the next transaction, and being part of the company, being part of this new transition of 24/7. and creating and developing that team, it's for that same reason. So when I met Barbie, it's kind of like I'm always super open to everyone. Probably a lot of people may think that I'm a little guarded or closed. Probably I am, but once I get to know people and start doing in my area or my expertise, I guess you want to call it, I'm 100%. I'm all there. In a personal level, Julian has known me as well, and I think you can share a couple of experiences that it relates. We have to be the same in your career, with your family, with your friends, and that will be a result of an actual result of your past action. So I'm a strong believer on that. The fact that you meditate, the fact that you're all about
the vibes.
The vibes,
bettering yourselves, honestly.
No, he's a big part of that.
Finding peace in the chaos is so important.
He's the one that got me into all that stuff. Astrology,
but
all that kind of stuff.
That's how we connected when I first met you.
It was at an event from the company, right?
Yeah, it was their anniversary event, and it was like when I was just figuring out whether I wanted to do this or not, and it was a full moon. And I was like, you know what? I never go out. And my mom's like, come with me. I was like, you know what? Okay, fine. And so it was a full moon, and I really liked the vibe of everyone. And I'm talking to you about Joe Dispenza, and you guys are like, oh, we're going to the retreat. And I was like, oh.
Chuck as well was there.
What?
Yeah.
And I wanted to go to that retreat, and I missed it. And I was like, okay, it'll happen when it happens. Sure enough, not even a few weeks later, my mom's like, Joe Dispenza tickets are on sale. Yeah. And then that's how we ended up there. But it only took me like 3 or 4 times to come around and be around all of you guys. And I was like, okay, I think this is the route I'm going.
There you go. I mean, we hope to see you more often too. Yeah. You know, once you get your license, that's going to be fun. The whole process from there is going to be just amazing, you know, pretty much.
She is going to be sharing it on her podcast.
I will be sharing it on the podcast.
There you go.
It's on the road up. So it's my journey into getting into real estate and
there you
all
go.
of the beginnings of it.
There you go. Mm-hmm. Very nice.
Yeah, nice.
Anything else?
Barbie?
I want to leave you with thank you for inspiring me and opening your arms, your heart to me. Both of you, the whole team, the whole company. It's been amazing. This is a brand new journey for me, and I'm really just getting started. I know we've closed a couple of deals, but that was as a part-timer. So now I'm working on my things, and it's a full-time show, and I'm really excited. And I'm part of something that really big and transformational that we're taking on. And as a woman, I want to share this with other women. Like if you've been thinking about getting into real estate, I'm here for you.
Become an example.
Let us know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mother-daughter duo team.
There we go.
Yeah. Nice. Awesome. Right, awesome. Well, I mean, JC, anything else that you'd like to say?
I just want to thank you. Thank you, Barbie. Thank you, Jess. Thank you, Julian, for trusting. That's all I can say. You have my back. Any questions, any texts, I'm always there. Yep. I'm always there, just a phone call away for you guys. As a team lead, as a team member, I'm always there. And for your clients as well, for your family as well. So I just want to share that. And with the company as well, other teammates, it's just expanding who we are, sharing who we are, being authentic, being real, being honest to every client, to every teammate, to every associate. That's going to make our business be even more successful as it is right now.
Yep.
And I love that there's no boundaries. Like, I mean, at any age, you can decide to change your life or change careers. Mm-hmm. And this is such an amazing thing to do because it can be done from home. You can be working while you're traveling. Yep. Your team will help you.
It's a beauty. Yeah.
So it's just an amazing career to get into. And I want to share this with you. Yeah. The company, when it's merged with Real, which is so exciting, and all these new opportunities are coming up with the company, I didn't even have to, I looked at you and I said, are you doing this? He's like, yes. I go, you believe in this? He goes, yes. So I'm safe. He's like, yes. I'm like, all right, where do I sign?
Let's go.
That's all I needed to know.
Yeah, that's the type of vibe we try to provide, so.
And it creates a commitment for me as well. And I'm there. And if I don't know everything, of course. And if I don't know something that you're asking me, what do I always tell you? Let me get back to you. I'll go check with my broker. I'll go check with someone else that obviously know more than me, and try to make a solution or resolve exactly what you were inquiring or asking. So,
Thank you.
we're constantly learning and supporting each other.
Awesome.
All right.
Alrighty, yeah. We'll be trying to do this more often, so next time we'll meet again, and then we'll go from there.
Let's make it happen.
Alrighty, guys.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
Make it a great day.
Have a good
Bye.
day.